I'm hoping to learn a lot from you guys. So let's jump into it. Well, gents, we got Lev here, we got Eclipse. Why don't you guys just give us a quick breakdown of who you are and what kind of your background is, and then what are you to the project?
Right. So my role in the project, I was always the social media community management guy. I did help with the concept work as well for the art. Jimbo Box was one of our creative leads. Iron Pinky was one of our creative leads. They were both in charge of like line art and just finalizing all of the renders and everything for our work. Eclipse here is community manager. I brought him on because I really liked the way he talked. He got me, man. He smooth talked me. I was like, all right, you know what, you're hired. And then so he's helping come up with community event ideas to try to keep people engaged. Helping me out on that front.
Yeah, I'm big on from the community end of things. Just maintaining engagement post Mint, I think, is so key. I see so many projects drop the ball with that and just don't. They don't give their community anything to do after Mint is over. So I think it's really important to have that constant stream of things for people to do and enjoy together, just consistently.
Yeah, no, I can't agree more than that. So love that little tidbit. Well, thanks for the intro, gents. We here at MVHQ, we get, especially me, I get to interview a lot of projects, just a ton of projects in the Web3 space, and it's an honor, truly, to be able to get all that exposure and kind of talk to the projects before they come out and things. And one thing that I've been honored to do is kind of get into this anime-esque meta that has been kind of going on in the Web3 space. You know, we've seen projects. I could literally name them all, but I won't, just for brevity's sake. But tell us a little bit more about what sets you guys apart from some of the other ones, or maybe doesn't set you apart. Maybe you guys you're going for a similar vibe. Can you kind of give us a quick rundown on what's different with your all's project versus others?
Obviously, with the team background we have, art was going to be one of our strongest points. But as we started doing this like 9 months ago or something, we started building a really long time ago, and the requirements to succeed in the space changed over time. So at first, we were mainly just like an art and roadmap project, and we had to bring some utility on board, and we had to bring like a real business on board, all as backing to help bring the project's value up. So eventually we kind of became a project that's focused less on the art and more on the utility and the brand side of things. So one of the main differentiators between us and these other anime projects is going to be our utility. We have a lot of unique utilities built into our project, which I haven't seen any other project do. The main one, which is completely unique that I see, is the you can stake to earn XP, and you can also sell to earn XP. So having a selling mechanic that rewards people for the price going up is the unique mechanic that I haven't seen any other projects do. So there's a lot of different utilities we have going on. All of them kind of tie into each other. We have an XP system, a leveling system, dynamic NFTs, which means that the images can update over time. We have an inventory system like CloneX. The leveling helps you unlock traits, which you can then use to customize your NFT. And we also have in the future, we plan on doing like collaboration items too. Like if we get collaborations with other projects that we kind of vibe with their aesthetics and we feel like it would be a good match for our project, and we can, do items for them and then drop them into the inventory of our holders and kind of do collaborations that way. So that's just the utility aspect of it. There's also the brand and business side of it, that's another one of the things that our founders have a lot of background and experience in. Currently, we're dominating the apparel scene at anime conventions already. So we're kind of looking to redo our strategy again with this project and start a new brand here.
Got it. Right on. Well, I want to jump into the art for a second because you mentioned, obviously, this started out as just a great art project. And I can't disagree with that. I think the art looks great. The art looks clean. My wife is not a big anime fan, and I don't know why I'm bringing her into this, but I am. To get her to watch anime has been really, really funny.
You need to start off with like the obvious ones, like One Punch Man or something.
So what's funny is so she was okay interested in One Punch Man. The one that she really fell in love with, she's starting to buy merch, is Attack on Titan. So I was really,
Oh,
really
really?
excited that she was stoked on that because I love Attack on Titan. But one of the things that is like a big disconnect for her is when she says the anime is too quote unquote horny. Would you
Mhm.
say that your all's art lingers onto the maybe too horny side?
If we teeter on the horny side, no, I wouldn't say so. Like our shit's pretty dope, man. Like we're not thirst trapping too hard. I will say, I don't know if I should be saying this. There is stuff underneath those clothes. Like Jimbo Box did not. He didn't cut any corners, man. Like obviously it's all covered up, but I guess there is some like horny foundations here at play, but we're not trying to thirst trap anyone. I think the outfits themselves are pretty cool. We had sort of like we were inspired by a lot of different things. I think Blade Runner was one of them. They have some of these like plasticky looking clothing, and if Jimbo Box were here, he could talk your ear off all day about. He's really into fashion, so he really loves some of these things that we've actually brought into the project, like the illustrations, the plastic clothing. He's huge into that.
Awesome. No, I love to hear the because I mean I'm an anime fan and I play JRPGs my whole life.
Mhm.
I know there's some female character and like there's like one strap that
Yeah,
covers her entire
exactly. And
thing,
that's
right?
like the best armor too,
Yeah.
is that little G string, fucking plus 99 defense and everything. I know what you're talking about, yeah.
But I love so I love to hear that there's actually a purpose there as well. So that's great. What would you say is the inspiration? Like, is there a certain anime that you guys feel you've drawn inspiration from other than over others?
Man, I don't know if there's any specific anime we've drawn inspiration from. Obviously, some of the hairstyles are going to be a little influenced by popular media already. But when it comes to like the outfits and everything, I don't think there's too much that we drew from. It was more like the story, like um in BB Sama, one of our popular items is our Oni themed merchandise. So we kind of came into it wanting to do Onis. So I think our stuff is more based off of like the story and the plot that we came up with rather than being based off of any particular anime. But there is definitely going to be a little bit of hairstyle influence on some of them.
Of course, excellent.
Before
Sorry.
before we lose it though, I just had to give Ryan props. I can't believe you were able to get your wife into anime. I have been trying this for so long and I have failed so many times. So if Attack on Titan's the way, I'm gonna try it, but I don't have high hopes.
I've made some mistakes over the years. It's taken. I mean, I've been with my wife for 11 years at this point, so I took some mistakes. I thought introducing her to like something that I really love would be great. So like FLCL was like the first thing because I'm like, oh, this is high art. Like this is great. And then there's
Mhm.
there's like a scene where like his brother's ex-girlfriend like kind of like feels him up in the beginning, which is like really weird, and she's like, no, this is too hard, I can't, like this is
Yeah.
gross.
And
So
then
it's like fine.
she rubs his thigh and a robot jumps out of his forehead. Yeah.
Exactly, we've all been there. So no. It's just it took a lot. So, but thanks for the call out, man. If she was listening right now, she'd be like, I am not an anime fan. What are you talking about? But
Oh
I
my
swear,
goodness.
she just bought a
You're
Spirit
not an anime
jersey.
fan yet.
Exactly, she just bought a Spirit jersey, Attack on Titan thing. So I know for a fact she's a fan of an anime at least. So let's get back to you guys though, because I am really really curious here. What kind of world are we building? Is this a fantasy world? Is this a mecha world? Is there a particular lore that we're following as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And Eclipse here has actually helped me with a little bit with on the lore, like in terms of defining the scope of it and everything. To give a brief summary of the world that the project takes place in, it's basically a world where hell is broke loose, completely invaded, destroyed, wiped out most of humanity. The main character, Tony, she's a red Oni with silver hair. Um, she went to like the last little scraps of humanity, the last little remnants, and she basically offered to help them. And the project has 10,000. Well, it had 10,000. Now it has 2,222. It has 2,000 tokens. These are all synthetic androids that were based on Tony. So they used her as a base to create these androids that would be able to fight these demons, and that's the basis of the story.
Sorry, I tapped speaker on or mic on, mic off by accident. Well, real quick before we get too further in deep, I want to make sure everyone listening remembers that we do have the function now to comment on this space. So if you have questions, things like that, we're going to hold it to the comment thread on there. So please submit your questions if you got them. Want to make sure we respect everyone's time and we don't get any kind of shills. I'm just happy to be back into the NFT spaces instead of everyone tracking, FTX and whereabouts in Bahamas and all that stuff.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So
don't trust Bitmart, and actually I don't know. I don't know what I can be saying. There's definitely a lot of when I see Bahamas, I don't know. I don't feel too comfortable when I see Bahamas, man.
Well, luckily the anime doesn't take place in the Bahamas, so good on you guys there. But awesome. So where I'm trying to figure out how I want to phrase this question. But like, let's say after mint, right? Everything goes really smoothly. You guys mint out. What can holders like look forward to after the mint? What are some like immediate things that you feel is gonna help proposition people to want to continue to hold other than just really sick art?
Well, in terms of immediate engagement, those are just going to be community events while we build everything in the background. We're building up a business from scratch, straight from the floor up. So, but in terms of like what they have to look forward to long term, as we roll out our utility over time, there's definitely a lot of things. Like there's staking's already live. Staking for XP, selling for XP, being able to customize your token. There's the brand aspect. Holders are going to get exclusive discounts, drops, and designs on apparel. So in terms of utility, there's definitely a lot to look forward to in the future. But yeah, currently what we're doing right now is we're figuring out a deal with a manufacturer to make our stuff for us, and we're finalizing some designs. We're finalizing our logo, our website. Our developer is working on some things in the background, and then in the meantime, we just have some community events planned.
Right on. There's nothing wrong with that. A slow build. For the community, I think good art can sustain that a lot of the times, and I think your all's art is pretty unique. So no qualms there. Let's talk about the mint for a second, because it's ever so important that we have a smooth mint. The mint is set, things like that. And obviously in this atmosphere, it's pretty tough to kind of have a consistent price with ETH and things like that. What are we looking at in terms of the date, mint price, whitelisting, things like that?
We minted on October either 25th or 28th. Let me see. We minted for 0.1. And then we had a whitelist of around 200% over allocation. Or 100%, my bad.
We did the over allocation kind of meta, right?
Yeah, it's definitely important to do that.
Yeah, no, I agree as well. As my dog rips up a blanket right next to me. What the hell? Right on. So and we're kind of just sitting tight with that mint happening already, right?
Yeah, it's already happened.
Okay, my fault. Did not get that note. Kind of look like a dumbass. Just kidding. Right on. So you mentioned this leveling up system. Is there a potential for like a game element, or would you say that's as far as the game element goes in terms of what you guys have planned out?
Well, due to the connections we have, it's definitely like a potential expansion route, but we're not comfortable like promising like anything that's on our roadmap and anything that's in our utility and anything that's like involved in the brand aspect. Everything that we say, we have to follow up on, right? So we're hesitant to promise any sort of game, because if we say it, we have to do it, and we don't want to do anything subpar or release anything that's not actually entertaining. So, but definitely like it's potential based on how things go with the brand and whatnot for us to expand the world into a game. We are in contact, like Jimbo Box has he did the concept art for a Mega Striker, so that's like another possible expansion route, you know. So there's definitely like a lot of different medias we can expand into it. Not just a game too. It could be like a manga and anime, but we do not want to promise anything that we're not going to do. So if those kinds of ideas pop up and we feel we can do it, then we'll release an announcement on it.
Kind of going with the understanding of like under promise, over deliver kind of vibe.
Right. Yeah. Like just speak on their connections. Like Jimbo Box he's done concept work for Street Fighter 4, Halo 4. He's done card illustrations for Marvel. He's done DC Comics, splash artist for Mega Striker. Iron Pinky has done stuff for Mega Man, Sonic, Spider-Man, Yu-Gi-Oh, TMNT, Street Fighter 6. He shared studio space with Arnold Sang, who did the illustrations for Ozuki. So there's definitely like a lot of different, like they have the connections in the space to make those kinds of things happen, right? But definitely we're not going to promise anything unless we're going to do it.
I love that. Again, I feel like it's really easy to, get a great project backing in terms of like some decent art and some decent mechanics, and then promise the world to everybody, and say that we're going to be the next Uzuki, and we Nike's going to buy us and all that.
Yeah,
kind of stuff. I really
there's definitely all sorts of ideas all the time from our community, but I think what most people have to understand is what you should expect is what we've promised, and if there's something we can add in along the way, we'll look into it. But what we promised is what we promised. So if you guys want to see what we're going to be doing, take a look at our Medium article, take a look at our roadmap, our utilities. Those are the things that we're going to bring to the table.
Yeah, awesome. And for those of you who are like interested, and again didn't know like me that there was, this was already minted out. You can go to Overborne's page on OpenSea or whatever platform you like, but it's a really, really affordable floor right now too. I mean, we're talking like 0.026 ETH, and I'm looking at the stuff on the quote unquote floor, and it is nice. There is some really nice looking art out here. So kudos to you guys. Just again, for the great art and the great variety of art.
Yeah, for sure. Some of the items on the floor, if it doesn't look quite like we want it to the dynamic NFT system will be in place later, where you're going to be able to customize it.
And how does that deal with the rarity? Curious.
So we're going to decide ahead of time. We're going to determine exactly what. Like currently the plan I have in mind is we're going to make it so that, like, let's say we want each token to have 10 unlocks. We're going to have to decide ahead of time how many commons they're going to unlock, how many rares they're going to unlock, and whether or not they have a chance of unlocking a legendary. That way we can kind of maintain the rarity, because we have had that question raised before, and people saying, well, I have a gold katana, how am I going to, is it going to be super common by the time everyone finishes leveling? And the answer is no. Like, if you have a gold katana, it's going to still maintain its rarity. That's the goal that we have in mind with the unlock system. Yeah.
Okay, that's good, because again, I know a lot of people that like to snipe collections and try to get the rare ones, and when there's level up kind of mechanics, or there's changing mechanics that can kind of muddy the waters a little bit. So that's nice to know.
Right. Yeah.
So. And apologies. My dog is acting a fool right now, and it's distracting a little bit.
I have to lock mine out, Ryan. I'm in the same boat usually.
No, there's like a famous saying that if you don't hear my dogs on my spaces, that it's like not a real space. So.
Well, I'm honored. I'm honored that he's piping up. Then.
I was gonna say, you guys have been christened. So. We labeled this. We named this Twitter space Web3 branding. And obviously, there's a lot of projects that, consider themselves a Web3 brand. They're trying to brand in Web3. They're trying to do a lot of these things, like Gozuki, for example. Do you guys think there's room for tons of competition in the Web3 branding space right now, or do you think that maybe it's a space that will build more and more as we go along, but there's only a few people that can be at top? Like, how do you see that kind of competition in the Web3 branding space?
I still think there's nothing but space. I've yet to see many brand projects release more than one piece of clothing and average at that. You know what I mean? So in terms of competition, I'm honestly not too worried about it. Like I said, one of the main differentiators between us and other Web3 brands is that we've already done a brand, right? We already have a successful brand. We're already doing it right. We're already dominating these shows. We're just gonna extend and create a new brand for this IP. So that's definitely one of the main differentiators. The other one is that most other Web3 brands, I don't really see them releasing anything, and I do not, and the ones that do release, I generally don't like very much. So, you know what I mean? Like, there's definitely like a difference to be had there, and it's going to be very apparent once we go live.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think that it's been an interesting like time in this quote unquote bear market to see a lot of different projects release and what's considered good, what's not good. There's been a ton of projects that have minted for really high prices and then they've gone below floor. So it's just interesting to see what we are building in what we aren't building, so to speak. So I'm glad to hear that from you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not going to be just one or two merch drops. It's going to be an entire brand, and the NFT will be act as a discount to that. So
Right on. Well, let's talk partnerships because I feel like that's like a really important part of a project nowadays in terms of funding, kind of partnerships, backing and things like that, but also,
mhm.
just aligning with the right kinds of, Web3, products and communities and things like that. Can you maybe speak a little bit to how important that's been for you guys and what communities and what projects you guys have aligned with?
I think it's definitely like a potential hype thing in the future. I would want to release our own items first before we explore partnerships with other brands. And we have had some people reach out to us in the past asking if we could make them items and whatnot. But in terms of making actual products for these other groups, we have to first make sure that our visions align, that our vibes align. I want to make sure that personally, I want to make sure that it's a visually pleasing project, not just a project with high engagement, but a project that I really would like to partner with.
Yeah, I find it's always good when there's like a good vibe on a space because it's like, oh, okay, like this project knows what's up. They're not weirdos, and you guys have passed the vibe check for me for sure. So hopefully it's
Yep.
vice versa. But it's so interesting to get like weird vibe projects on spaces. I'm not going to name names or even admit that there are some, but there are some. So, well, great guys. It's awesome to hear about the project, and I'm sorry that I'm a little late to it in terms of knowing you guys have already meant it and things like that. But I want to kind of give you guys like the space here to talk about maybe something about the project that you guys are hyped for that we haven't discussed, or maybe even just kind of give us a final pitch on what you guys are trying to build and why we should start buying some here on OpenSea or LooksRare or wherever.
Right, absolutely. Well, I would say that most of our things haven't unrolled out yet, so there's definitely still a lot of the project left to unfurl. I would say now is a very cheap entry point compared to the actual tangible value of the tokens, because it's going to be a pretty sizable discount on these items, and these items it is going to be a premium brand. So if there is one thing I could go over, I guess it would be our roadmap. Let me take a look. We can also discuss our utilities.
Yeah, I think it'd be good to go over that again, just in case anybody here is new and just wants to learn more about everything we have coming. And Ryan, I'm very happy to know that we passed the vibe check. That does mean a lot to me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake's in here, and obviously Jake's the big boss. Mitch is our CEO and everything. They don't know it, but I've officially labeled myself as the CVO.
The vibe gate.
Yeah, I'm the chief vibe officer. So you guys passed the vibe check for sure.
All right,
Thank you. And that is a very important role that I think you should start spearheading.
I think they should make that an official role for every company is the chief vibe checker. All right,
go ahead. Yeah.
In terms of roadmap, there's a few different things we've got to unleash. One is our music album. We have some contacts with a composer who's already working on some tracks for us. He's almost done with his first track. There's also the apparel brand side. There's the charity side. We're gonna make a donation to One Tree's Planet to help with the reforestation effort. There's a giveaway. We've been doing giveaways currently. Like we just finished a fan art contest, and we're also doing like a boss battle on our Twitter right now, where if you comment like an attack on the kaiju that's attacking the city, then you stand a chance to win. So we have a bit of a surplus in our team treasury, and we're looking to give it back to the community. So there's definitely a lot of community events going on right now that you can participate in. There's the dynamic NFT aspect, and then there's also the metaverse aspect where we're going to see how we can include our characters in metaverse. And we've had one project reach out already. I'm not going to name them. They wanted to include our characters as like a pixelized avatar that can run around in their world. But whatever we do, I want to make sure it's cool. So there's definitely like a lot of thinking to do on that end as well. And that's not the priority to us. Right now, our priority is getting the brand on its feet and also filling out the utilities. So that's the roadmap. And then there's also the utilities, which are going to be rolled out over time. So on the utility side, there is obviously there's the XP, there's the leveling, staking, selling to earn. When I say selling to earn, what I'm saying is that the buyer gets an instant return on investment in the form of experience that channels into their leveling, which channels into their traits, which can affect their rarity and also allow them to customize it. So all of our utilities kind of tie into each other. That's how they were designed to work. And then there's also the way that the NFTs themselves tie into the brand. So NFT holders will be able to access exclusive designs, drops, and discounts from the brand. And that also attaches a tangible value to the tokens themselves, because it's going to be a pretty sizable discount, and it is a premium brand. So like there's a theoretical floor where it should never drop below because like the value in correlation to the brand is just worth more than that, right? So the tokens have like a realistic, tangible value that's pretty high once you connect it to the brand aspect. The utility and everything else, and the art and being backed by industry professional artists, that's all a bonus to the brand aspect as well.
Excellent. No, I'm glad you reiterated that, and kind of let the people know. It looks like we do have quite a few new faces in here too from when we started. So appreciate you guys going over that. Well, again, I would love to take some questions from the crowd if there are any. But if there aren't any, we can go ahead and kind of wrap this up and kind of get you guys, back your night. I'm sure you guys don't have a ton of Twitter spaces and things that you guys need to be doing.
Yeah, we generally don't do a bunch. We've been very reserved on who we speak to.
Well, now I feel honored. Shit. Great. Well, not seeing any questions coming from the crowd, any hands raises. So again, I'll just give you guys a quick minute, just a summary here, and we'll close things out if that's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Let me see.
I just want to toss in from the community side. We are trying to build a really strong community just from the ground up. A lot of our best members are in this chat right now. Always love spending time with you guys. Would love to see more people in here. Please come check out our Discord. Stream games with us. We can watch anime together, talk about the project, and just make friends. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that is sort of the end goal as well, is to build a legitimate community of people who know each other and can share information and just generally be friends. I see Monsieur in here. Oral PC is rocking our profile picture right now. Chewy, I recognize. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of avatars in here. I think we're good to finish up, unless you have any other questions you wanted to ask us, Ryan.
Yeah, I've kind of run out of questions to ask. You guys have answered them all really well, rather. And again, it's been a vibe to talk to you guys. Really excited to jump in. I might grab a few of these gals that are on the floor here that are kind of speaking my name. So I love it when a project convinces me to buy. So that's a bullish sign.
That's awesome.
Right.
Thank you so much for your time, Ryan. It has been a pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah, gents, it's been a pleasure speaking with you as well. Everyone who's been listening, have a great night. And see everyone later. Peace.
All right. See you guys.